I'm Russ, and this is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, today I'm going to be showing you Stage 21 Faction Crypt of the Dwarves. Here I am actually at the very end. I've actually autoed this content. We'll just finish it real quick, and I'll show you what champions I used and their builds. So, here's my list of champions. I got one legendary under Priest Brogni, amazing champion. There was just a 10 times event for pulling him, so hopefully you pulled him. Also, he was a fusion champion, so possibly you fused him, or if not, you were able to pull him recently. Rockbreaker, epic champion, a great champion. Melga, another epic, amazing champion. I'm going to say this name wrong. Cornelia? She was part of a fusion that you could have, I guess you didn't get the legendary. I don't know if she was part of Brogni's or which one she was a part of. And then there was a guaranteed Geomancer event that happened, so hopefully you pulled him too. So this should be a team for anyone that's been playing for a while, that's made a point to pull champions. This isn't a team that is unrealistic to obtain. And people talk about how the Dwarves is one of the more difficult factions to beat. I kind of disagree. I don't know if maybe that content was mentioned more when, and I apologize scrolling through. I don't know if that was more for when, before like more champions were released. But, I mean, Brogni's huge. Geomancer's a great champion. Yeah, I'll walk you through their kits, how I have them built. And I'm not going to walk you through the content of Stage 21 because I autoed it. I'm just going to show you these champions and their builds. I mean, 3 of my 5 are only 50, 5 stars. I just threw some gear, I think, on 2 of them because I moved gear around different champions to beat different content. So yeah, to auto this was not extremely difficult, but I will show you their builds. Here are the masteries. Don't just copy masteries, but these are the ones I have for Brogni. He is built for Clan Boss. War Master would also be a good mastery for him as well. He is fully booked. Attacks one enemy, has a 45% chance of placing an HP burn, which is great. Based on attack. It's too bad when champions are based on attack. Health and defense is ideal, but attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of removing one random buff from all enemies. Has a 75% chance of removing a random debuff from all allies. Increases the value of shield buff on all allies by 30% of the damage inflicted. Big shield, super helpful for content. The value of shield, and then here's his shield. Places a block buff, and a 50% increased attack on all allies for 2 turns. Also places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns, equal to 30% of this champion's max HP, so build him with a ton of HP. The shield buff cannot be removed, which is great. Shield, increased attack, block debuffs. And then his passive, whenever an ally under shield, which should be all of them, because it can't be removed, and you place that big shield, whenever that shield buff is attacked, reflects 25% of the damage inflicted on the shield back to the attacker. Also heals that ally by 25% of the damage inflicted on shield. Amazing champion. He has a Doom Tower resist. Here's another champion that you should, if you have him, you should 6-star him. You should ascend him. You should book him. Not just for Faction Wars, but for a lot of other content in the game. I use him on my main clan boss, like I mentioned. Let's show you his overall stats really quick. 60,000. He's got a ton of health. His attacks are based off attack, so he could have more attack. Defense for survivability, 213 speed's pretty fast. He's got almost 100% crit rate. Could have more accuracy, but yeah, he isn't a lifesteal set again for Clan Boss, so survivability is not a problem. Attack, because his attacks are based on attack. Put him in health, wouldn't hurt either, or HP based on his shield. Crit damage, so he can do some damage. His accuracy, speed, defense, crit rate. Actually, HP. So I do have more attacks. Attacks are based. So I want him to do some damage. An HP chest actually probably would be better. Maybe I didn't have one when I built him. Amazing champion. My lead, Geomancer. Again, another great Clan Boss champion. He's maxed out. Giant Slayer, again, War Master, wouldn't hurt either. His kit attacks all enemies, has a 30% chance of placing a 50% decrease accuracy debuff on for 2 turns. Damage based on attack, decrease accuracy, removes all buffs from a target enemy, then attacks them, steals all buffs instead if the target is under an HP burn. So it's good to have him under HP burn buff placed by this champion. Reduces the cooldown of quick grasp, so his HP burn attack, by 2 turns if the target is killed by the skill while under an HP burn debuff placed by this champion. Again, based on attack. Again, too bad he's not an HP based champion. That's just my wishful thinking. HP and defense based champions are awesome. Fully depletes the target's turn meter, fills the champion's turn meter by the amount the target loses. 75% chance of placing an HP burn. There's that HP burn you need, and a weekend that synergizes great with his A2. He's got a passive, decreases the damage of all allies received by 15%, and deflects that damage onto each enemy under HP burn. So again, it's important to have HP burn. Debuff placed by this champion. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. Whenever this champion is attacked, reflects 30% of the damage, and instead, when deflecting damage on each enemy hit, has a 30% chance of dealing additional damage equal to 3% of the target's max HP. Great for Clan Boss, great for the new Hydra Clan Boss, especially if you're listening to this currently. The setup of the Hydra that's currently going on, he's a great fit for those heads. And yeah, just overall, just a really good champion. He's got an aura of 25% health in all battles. I do have him in a stalwart set because he is for Clan Boss. Make sure I go in a consistent order here with showing you his artifacts. He has defense. He is fully booked based on attack. Things are based on attack. So interesting that I put him in a defense. I guess just for survivability. Man, I'm all over the place. I apologize. Let's go total stats. 39,000 health, could be higher. Again, he's got a stalwart set against Clan Boss. So he's not taking a ton of damage. Attack, because his attacks are based on attack. Defense, because for survivability. Speed, could be a little faster. Crit rate, crit damage. That accuracy, making sure he places that HP burn. He has defense, which again, I guess, not sure why I did that. HP would be better. Again, defense. Wow, a lot of survivability defense. HP would be helpful. I mean, he does have 39,000 health, which is not bad. There's big HP there. Crit rate. I do have him with 100% crit rate. You could focus more on maybe attack. Maybe more survivability, but yeah, he's a really good champion. And I apologize again, I lost my spot. I got to scroll all the way down to the very bottom to get to my dwarves. But those are the only 2 6-star champions that I used in the faction crypt. Again, like Brogni, Geomancer is a champion that is definitely worth completely booking out, completely filling masteries. Part of beating the factions is I want to do it with the least amount of resources possible. I don't want a 6-star every champion, fill out all their masteries, max out all their gear, and fill them with books when I don't have to, especially if it's a champion that I might not use anywhere else in the game. Here's 2 examples of champions that are so viable for the rest of the game. They're worth putting the time and resources into. With that said, my next 3 champions, I don't really use anywhere else. I pulled her only more recently. Look right here. There's only I'm only at 8 on her gauntlet. I actually just threw this on here because it was empty, and then I autoed stage 21. Masteries aren't finished. Got some accuracy. Got a little bit of resistance. I don't think she has any books either. Attacks 1 enemy, has a 40% chance of increasing the cooldown of one of the target skills by 2 turns on random. So increases the cooldown of the enemy skills based on attack. Has an 80% chance of placing sleep buff on all allies for 1 turn. This is really big for control. Passive effect, whenever an enemy loses a sleep debuff placed by this skill, has a 50% chance of placing it with a fear. Again, booking her would have made this easier. I don't know how much easier it needed to be when you can auto it. Maybe if you don't have as many books or resources into your other champions, you could split them even out. And then places a sleep buff on an ally for 1 turn, heals that ally by 50% of their max HP, and fills the turn meter by 50% whenever the sleep debuff expires or gets removed. Heals that ally by 100% and completely fills their turn meter if the sleep debuff is lost due to attack. So just a healing champion, or a speed in all battles could be helpful. Definitely not a need, I would say, for beating this faction. It is helpful. Her healing is helpful. I think she's a very unique, different champion that I decided to put some resources in. Based on attack. I mean, all these are based on attack. All 3 of those champions are attack based, so like support champions. Defense for survivability, health, speed, defense, just a lot of defense. Their defense, 36,000 health. Again, attack could be higher. Again, she's only at 50. A lot of survivability with defense, a lot of speed, a lot of accuracy, placing those sleeps. Again, just a helpful healing champion. Melga, her mastery's not complete either. Some resistance, some health, some healing. Not fully booked. She does take a ton of books. Quite a few books though. Attacks 1 enemy, has a 50% chance of removing a random debuff. That's the 2nd champion that can do that in this group. Cannot remove a debuff from this champion. Damage based on HP. Here's the first HP based champion, which again, I'm a big fan of champions based on HP and defense. When their survivability also synergizes with their damage dealing, it's awesome. Like this champion, HP, so you just want to build them a bunch of HP, make them survivable. Oh, by the way, that survivability, that health, increases how much damage they do. Places a shield. Shield, healing champions, and revive champions are huge for content. This stage doesn't have a lot of damage dealing or worry necessarily of dying. She does have a revive, which is helpful, but I don't think it's ever an issue through this stage 21. Places a shield buff on all allies equal to 20% of this champion's max HP. Max HP for 2 turns. Big shield based on HP also places a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies. Healing and shield, big move. Great champion. Revives 2 random allies with 20% of their HP and 20% turn meter. Also places a shield, another shield buff on the revived allies for 2 turns equal to 30% of their max HP. So instead of her max HP, it's theirs. Still a revive. So if anyone does die and you need a 3-star, she can also increase health. Again, Geomancer has a better health aura to help her. I do have her in a stalwart. Oh, wow. Huh. And there you go. Interesting. I was missing a gauntlet and a chest, so I just threw some on. Wasn't paying attention. I meant to give her a regeneration set to help her healing, and I put a stalwart, so I don't even have a complete set on her. So with that said, like, she doesn't have a full kit. I mean, besides her immortal set, which has a 15% health and heals, so there's some heal. This is an 8, and then this is an 8. They are HP based, not. I just threw them on, like literally just threw them on to try to beat the Faction War 21, and I autoed it just to see how far I could get, and it did it automatically. So this champion, a 50, another 50 champion, not full masteries. Again, HP based, so everything should be. I was surprised in my other champions builds. Should be HP, no glyphs. HP, no glyphs, not even maxed out. Speed is important. You want to try to go as fast as possible. Have a decent amount of speed, especially when they're a revived champion and placing shields and stuff. But yeah, I don't have a full set kit on her. Which is just to show like the minimum you need to get through this content. 50,000 health because she's based on health, barely any attack, barely any defense, fast enough, no damage dealing, some resistance, some accuracy. I don't think anything requires accuracy. It's all your own buffs. Yeah. Very mild build, something that if you do have her, very easy. You should putting her in like a lifesteal set or regeneration set is super helpful to keep her alive, since she is your shield, places shields and revives people. You don't want her to die. Out of anyone, you don't want her to die. But man, I was able to beat this on auto twice. I beat it on auto and it was no problem. And then Rock Breaker, again, another level 50. You don't need a 6-star, max these guys out. He's a great little champion, focused on defense because he's based on defense. A little bit of accuracy, definitely could have given more accuracy. Attacks 1 enemy, increases this champion's defense by 4% each time this skill is used. So every time he goes, he's increasing his defense. Stacks up to 20%. Damage based on defense. Has a 75% chance of placing Provoke debuff on all allies for 1 turn. Places a counter attack buff on this champion for 2 turns. So he's provoking, and when he provokes, he counters. Like an Angar, a legendary champion from the Orcs. A great move. Defense based. Angar's an HP based, but still, that concept where you can just build him with a ton of defense. He's placing provoke, so he's getting everyone that's focused on him. He has a ton of defense, so he has survivability, and then he's just countering them. When they hit him, he hits them back, and every time he uses his A1, when he attacks with that counter, he's increasing his defense, which is increasing his damage, which is awesome. Has a 25% chance of decreasing. Has a 25% chance of decreasing damage inflicted on this champion by 50% each time this champion is attacked. So he's also decreasing the amount of damage he's taking. Increases arena battles by 30%. So not helpful in this faction. Do have some accuracy to place that provoke. Have some speed set and an accuracy set. I could definitely probably put him in better perception, up his speed along with his keep his accuracy up, but his speed up. Defense, again, based on defense, only a 4-star ring, not maxed defense. Again, no glyphs. He does have his speed up, decent. Again, defense based. Again, 13. Like, he could definitely get better stats. 26,000 health, 3,300 defense. He could be faster, a lot of accuracy. I didn't need to build him any better than that. Again, getting through your faction crypts is what is the minimum you need to do to get through that content. Evaluate, first of all, what champions do you have, and also which ones are worth building for endgame content. If you don't need Rockbreaker anywhere else in the game except for faction crypts, why max him out? Why put all that energy and effort into his kit? I'm not going to dive into any other champions because I didn't use any other champions in this faction. I know there's some other good ones, but again, I don't want to say, you know what, maybe these champions will be good because I haven't tested it or tried it. I just recently beat the Dwarves maybe a month ago, and this was the team that I beat it with. As you saw in the beginning of this video, you saw that I just beat the boss. I'll show you again. Oh my gosh. Stop trying to sell me stuff. I've already spent plenty of money on you. But yeah, I've already 63 starred. I beat it. That was the team I beat it with. Show you just really quick again. My lead increases the HP. But I showed you I have 3 5-star champions. Masteries aren't done. They're not all the way upgraded. They're not all the way booked. You don't need it to beat this content. So hopefully, as you're trying to get through faction crypts, as you're trying to get Lydia, the Shadowkin is coming soon, which for all of us that actually just beat Lydia the other day, or got Lydia yesterday after beating the last 2 I had to beat was Skinwalkers and Undead. But I just made a big push to finish this before the Shadowkin opens up, because that's just another whole crypt that you're gonna have to get through. If you can, I think it's gonna be about a week from now. I've heard rumors. So hopefully you're grinding. Right now, Dwarves is open. So hopefully you're lucky. Hopefully you have some good champions. If you have the ones I just showed you, hopefully those builds help. They show you what champions maybe you should focus on. Like I mentioned, Brogni and Geomancer, endgame champions that are worth investing in. And then some other champions, if you have, like, you don't need to just dump a bunch of resources in. I showed you the very bare minimum. Actually, you could probably go even more bare minimum than I did, because if you can auto it, that means your champions are plenty strong enough. Yeah, I just wish you guys good luck. I hope you guys are able to beat the Dwarf Crypt. I hope you get your 63 stars. I hope you get Lydia, and hopefully this video is encouraging and helping you anywhere that you are struggling in the Dwarf faction. Yes, good luck, and until next time, see you later.